Bor Kapatisi TV. Kabul, Kamashin Kabala Snakerpang Kabakhamskem, Kamsted, Kamklan, Batbaduna Bam Umpnia.
Hak Arpsantri Urisa Waza Arpsan ke Skul Dinet Manik Syiem Memorial High Secondary School kabaran hanong thamai kala Pynkut ya ke Jingrakhe ya ke Jubili Rupa jong ke Jingdap Arpsan Snem keni ke skul nadu belaseng ya ka ukongsan hak keni ke si ude advisor jong ke tenat social welfare uba polengdo u director jong ke Directorate of School Education and Literacy uba Bantelang Kharshandi ulawan kum sumbur kongsan uba penya sing Syiem pan ulawan kum unong syakhot ngobha namar kisenyang ki bawla no syakani ke skul hakapor bawdang long kum chief executive member ke Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council la priang sobha ya baro ki badan hakani ke jingalang da ke principal jong ke skul balaya lampat bantang ya ke syarak jong ke Jingrakhe Jubili da president jong ke school managing committee uba ti silingdo hakani ke singi la yo ya ke jing batai benya ya ke jingya lenti jong ke skul bala penpho penpieng ru ya ke jingalang da ke jingrwa ke jingshat jong ki kena skul kum kadak ke jingkit bok baka skul kan nangki shaprang ukongsan uba polengdo ula ai arlak tingka ya ke skul.
If we talk about education, perhaps the best definition that I have come across comes from the Irish poet, the Blue Billets, who said, education is not the filling of a pail, it is the lighting of a spark. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a spark. Today, as we come to the valedictory program where we celebrate the silver jubilee of Dinet, there are two things that I'd like to share with you. One is the fact that we need, as has been reflected by the speeches and also by the forward plan, that we need to synergize our efforts collectively. Shillong was once the proud mecca of education, the hub of education. I've interacted with a lot of individuals who have achieved well and have done well in life. I remember a particular evening that we spent at the Dhaka Club when Bangladesh was thriving with life and energy. And I was happy that not less than 5-6 of those gentlemen that I sat with all had their education in Shillong. Today, the challenge before us is not to live in the glory of the past, but to regain that glory is a challenge that we should meet today. If we talk about high achievers, I'm sure that all of you are familiar with the name of Nelson Mandela. There is a small vignette from his life which he had narrated in his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom, where he recounted that he was alone in solitary confinement at Rhode Island. And he said that before his meal, he would take a walk. And he was always accompanied by a guard who would intentionally make him walk faster than he was comfortable. He said, the challenge before me was how do I make this guy walk according to my pace. It was a mental game, a mind game. But he said, finally, after a few evenings, he noticed that when Mandela walked slower than the guard would allow him, the guard noticed that he was aggressive at the start, but in a matter of days, he adjusted his pace according to Mandela's pace. The point here is, if somebody in solitary confinement for 27 years could master the art of playing this game and eventually controlling the pace of the walk, likewise, we as a society, we as stakeholders in the growth trajectory of education also have to adjust ourselves with the demands of the time and making sure that we emerge victorious in the long run. Our pointers to the fact that somewhere there has been a lack of focus as far as envisioning our future is concerned. This is where I would like, as one of the stakeholders and a member who is fortunate enough to be part of the planning process of the state, we would like to see that our vision for Meghalaya for the next 50 years should begin in right earnest from today. Somebody has said a lot of people are scared of death, but we should be more scared of the fact that we are yet to start living. Friends, on this occasion, while I'm not part of the education department per se, but all these departments, the department of which I'm the advisor, social welfare, education, sports and youth affairs, all these are interlinked. We need to work in synergy. Synergy brings energy. And therefore, as a token of support to the school, I'd like to announce a token of these 2 lakhs from my side as contribution to the funds of the school in pursuit of its various activities. Before winding up, I'd like each one of you to keep in mind that the strength of Meghalaya lies not in numbers. If we talk in terms of quantity, there were more mourners who have attended the funeral of Jubili in Guwahati than there are Qazis in Meghalaya. We talk in numbers. Our strength can only come from our quality. We need to envision a quality population. One community that has dominated in terms of enterprise and initiative for the past several decades are the Parsis, and they constitute a microscopic minority. Therefore, our strength has to come from our quality, and that quality can only come through the pursuit of education. The state of Meghalaya has so much in terms of our soft skills, in terms of our familiarity and affinity with English, the fact that there are inherent strengths in our education system that we can and should only tap into. These are strengths that we should work on. I'd also like to emphasize here the fact that a lot of us, and especially our dear young friends, need to shift their attention to finding their purpose in life.
I was just having a very small chat with our principal, and I came to know that the school was established by her late father, Dinet, Manik, Syiem, and I think it is very apt. It's very appropriate to pay homage and respect to the founder of this school on this very, very important day. And I would really like to thank Madam Principal for the warm introduction, and I think she had already told you that before joining the service I was also a teacher myself, and I must tell you very honestly, I feel very, very embarrassed because I could not continue to be a teacher for reasons perhaps which I also do not know. And I've been a teacher for almost 5.5 years. I've really enjoyed teaching because I've taught students at various levels. Now, let me be very frank and honest with you. I enjoyed teaching, but at that point of time, I was really, really confused as to whether I was a good teacher or not. And I always believe in this, that if you have to be a teacher, you really have to dedicate yourself to the students, and you have to give your 100%. Your mind has to be focused as a teacher. You cannot focus yourself on something else which is beyond the ambit of teaching. So, teaching as a profession requires that dedication. It requires, the dedication that each and every teacher should put towards their students. And I'm very happy that even till today we have a lot of teachers who are very, very dedicated.
Pin reels pa ya kak tin la jong pin dan kam ya kabakan kiyo kak tin kasi kak tin la jong ai kan roy kan pa
Buon kia keren halor ka environment ka saudong sauput saukuan ya ka badai ban penne pensa ya ka jingjangam haka kentin khasi niyo ya ka marian na ka marian niyo sa ka meirilung meirisan meirilang meiramo
tin la jong
tudayakan mau kendit ho
tin kasi
lapen mi da ka pati CTV na ka benta ka jingmentoi upat ba